So students, in our last class under chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plants, we were learning first event of sexual reproduction, that is pre-fertilization. Under pre-fertilization there are two stages. I think so many times I told you, that is first one is gametogenesis, then gamete transfer. So we were learning in last class about these structures, if you remember, that is gynoecium. Already microsporogenesis we finished, that is formation of pollen grain within the anther. Now we are learning formation of megaspore inside the embryo sac, and embryo sac is present within the ovule. Ovule is present inside the gynoecium, like I told in last class. Okay, so we will continue that. So this is a gynoecium structure where it will have three parts, ovary, style, stigma. When you take a cross section of ovary, then you see that there are ovules present. So last part what we learnt in our last class was some plants contain ovary, and ovary contains single ovule. Ovary contains single ovule. Like we have taken example of paddy, that is rice, then coconut, and all these contain within one ovary single ovule will be present. Then we have seen that papaya example we have taken, where in the papaya, watermelon, orchids, one ovary contains many ovules. So when you take a cross section of ovary, you see many ovules. So we will let us see the cross section of ovule now. CS of ovule, which is called megasporangium. So if you take a cross section, you can draw reverse also, like you can draw this way also. This way also you can draw if you want. This way also you can draw, where antipodals will come here. These are antipodals, egg will come here, micropyle comes here. Or else you can draw other picture also, both are correct. So this is a structure. Now why are we learning structure of ovule? Because when you take the cross section of ovary, inside the ovary there will be ovule, and within the ovule there will be embryo sac, and within the embryo sac megaspore or egg will be produced. So how egg is produced within embryo sac? To know that, we have to take cross section of ovule, because inside the ovule, what this part you see, this part, central part, that is this part, this is embryo sac, as we have already learnt in last class. Okay, so this is a structure of ovule, and this part of the ovule is called funicle. Then here this part is called hilum, and the topmost part is called chalaza or chalaza. Then these are the protective layers called integuments. I told you later when this ovule becomes a seed, this integuments will become a seed coat. Like for example, in groundnut seed, groundnut seed, when you break that shell, outer shell, okay, inside 2 or 3 seeds will be there, groundnut seed, where outside thin paper like cover will be there, brown color, that is a seed coat. Before that seed coat was integument. So integuments are meant for protecting the ovule. They are the outer covers, they protect the ovule. Like with your finger, if you tap the ovule, inner part of the ovule will not be disturbed, egg will not be disturbed, because the integuments will protect. They are protective layers. Later these integuments will become seed coat when ovule becomes seed. Ovule, after fertilization, ovule becomes seed, and entire ovary becomes a fruit. See, it is structure like this, if you remember right. This is ovary, style, stigma. So here in this, what ovules are there? These ovules later becomes a seeds. All these ovules become a seed. Then this entire ovary becomes fruit. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ಗೋವಾ ಫ್ರೂಟ್, ಪೇರ್ಲೆ ಹಣ್ಣು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಚೇಪೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಪೇರ್ಲೆ ಹಣ್ಣು. ಓಕೆ, ಗೋವಾ ಫ್ರೂಟ್. The fruit what we eat, that was before, the fruit was before it was ovary. So we are eating fertilized ovary. Okay, and the seeds what you see inside, it was a ovule before. So ovules will become a seed after fertilization, and entire ovary becomes a fruit after fertilization. Now we are learning before fertilization. Okay, so this is a case where this is the ovule, funicle is the lower part. With this funicle, the ovule will get attached to ovary wall at the base. Okay, here you can see this is the ovary wall, to that ovules will be attached. The connection what is there, that is a funicle. Then hilum is a flexible part, see like this, so that the ovule can be flexible, it can move up and down. Then this is upper part called chalaza, and this is the opening. Here on hole is there or opening is there, that you already know this is called micropyle. Micropyle is the opening. Then here 3 cells are there. These 3 cells are antipodal cells. You know this antipodal cells. Then in the center there will be polar nuclei. Then here actual megaspore, that is egg, will be located here. Egg, I can draw it slightly bigger. So egg, suppose it is like this is egg. Okay, on either side of the egg there will be 2 more cells. These cells are called synergids. You know this, you have already learnt in first year. Even yesterday also I have discussed. Okay, then after integument and around the embryo sac there will be a tissue. See, I am shading that part. The shaded part what is there, that is called nucellus. You already know this, nucellus is a part. Then this part, oval structure, what is that? Like I will show you now. See this part. This is an embryo sac. Name only says embryo sac. Sac means bag-like structure. Bag-like structure. Within that, embryo will be produced. Then, so entire structure, entire ovule is megasporangium. I told you why it is called megasporangium, because the word angium means bag-like structure. Sporangium means bag containing spores. Megasporangium means bag containing megaspores. The word mega means bigger. Micro means smaller. You know, micro means small. Macro, M-A-C-R-O, macro or mega means big. So compared to pollen grains, egg size is slightly bigger, so it is called megaspore. As megaspore will be present within the ovule, so it is called megasporangium. Meaning of the word, bag-like structure containing megaspore. Then within the ovule you see this particular structure. See, I will highlight here, the same part I will draw here now. So same part, this is nothing but embryo sac. Embryo sac is called female gametophyte because I told you the word gametophyte means gamete containing structure. Gametes will be present within the embryo sac, so it is called female gametophyte. Then 3 cells will be there here, as you can see there. These 3 cells are antipodals or antipodal cells. Then 2 nuclei will be there at the center. These are called polar nuclei. And here egg in the center, egg or also called ovum. Then on 2 sides of the egg there will be 2 cells called synergids, or you can say synergids also. You know already this entire part is a embryo sac. Now we are going to learn megasporogenesis. You already know this word. The word genesis means formation. Genesis means formation. So sporogenesis means formation of spores. Then what is megasporogenesis? Formation of megaspores. So formation of megaspore is called megasporogenesis. Like you have learned microsporogenesis, already you have learned. Pollen grain is a microspore because pollen grain is like a chalk dust, very small particle. So very smaller things we call microspore. So micro means small. So pollen grains are small. So formation of pollen grains within the anther is called microsporogenesis. Means formation of microspore. Like that, egg size is slightly bigger than pollen grain, so it is called megaspore. So formation of megaspore is called megasporogenesis. Where it occurs, megaspore will be produced inside the embryo sac. So we have to learn now gametogenesis in female, that is called gametogenesis in female reproductive part of flower, that is called megasporogenesis. The word genesis refers to formation. Like we say spermatogenesis. Name only says genesis means formation. Spermatogenesis means formation of sperm. Like that, formation of egg is called oogenesis because other name for egg is ovum or ova. Singular, plural forms you know. If single is there, then it is ovum. If many are there, then it is ova. So genesis means formation. You already know this. In every class I keep saying this. Then sporogenesis means, name only says, formation of spore is sporogenesis. So megasporogenesis means formation of megaspore. Okay, where it occurs? Megaspore will be present within the embryo sac. You already have learnt it now. Not once. I think 7-8 times you have learnt this. Okay, so formation of megaspore. Formation of megaspore is megasporogenesis. Where it occurs? It occurs inside the embryo sac. Where is that embryo sac present? Embryo sac is present within the ovule. So it is a part of ovule. So that is why we have learnt cross section of ovule, because ovule contains embryo sac and within the embryo sac megaspore will be produced. So how this megaspore is produced, that we have to learn. So first stage will be, there will be a single cell. So the single cell is called megaspore mother cell, MMC in short. Megaspore mother cell. And number of chromosomes present, it will be diploid, 2n number of chromosomes. Like you already know, human beings, in every cell there will be 46 chromosomes. So we write one set of chromosome as 23, you know. So 2n means 2 into 23. So totally 46 chromosomes will be there. We call this as diploid. You know this. Okay. So megasporogenesis starts with first cell, that is called megaspore mother cell. Name only says mother cell, means mother gives birth to young ones. You know. Even in human beings also, mother gives birth to young ones. Like that here, my megaspore mother cell, name only says megaspore mother cell produces megaspore. That is why it is called megaspore mother cell, because mother gives birth to young ones. So here megaspore mother cell produces megaspore. That is why it is called megaspore mother cell. And number of chromosomes, it is diploid number of chromosomes. Then megaspore produced will be haploid. It will have half number of chromosomes. Like it will have n number of chromosomes, that is haploid. So just recall, which type of cell division will occur now? Which type of cell division forms haploid set of chromosomes? Because megaspore mother cell produces megaspore, and megaspore is haploid. Megaspore mother cell is diploid, 2n, it produces megaspore which is n. Which type of cell division where 2n number of chromosomes are reduced to n number of chromosomes, where diploid chromosome number reduces to half of the chromosome, that is meiosis. So meiosis occurs here, which is called reductional division. You know, chromosome number will be reduced to half. So first stage will be meiosis. Meiosis or reduction division occurs. Reduction division occurs. Then what happens? One megaspore mother cell divides and becomes two cells. So one cell divides into two cells like this. Here you can see one megaspore mother cell, only one cell is there. It divides, cell division occurs, one cell divides into two cells. Here you can see two cells. This is first one and this is second one. So two cells will be produced. Okay. Now these are not two cells, these are two megaspores. Two megaspores are produced. This is called dyad condition. Dyad, di means two. Okay. In some books they write it dyad like this. Okay, dyad means two cells. One megaspore mother cell produced two cells by meiosis. To make this process very simple, cell division occurred. Megaspore mother cell is one cell divided into two cells. Okay, by cell division. Which cell division? Meiosis. Then dyad is produced where two cells are there. Then again, this is what meiosis 1. Meiosis has two stages, you know, meiosis 1, meiosis 2. In meiosis 1 what happened? One cell divided into two cells. Then in meiosis 2 what will happen? In meiosis 2, these two cells will divide and produce four cells. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four cells are produced. Okay. Four cells are produced. These are outer layer of cells. Four cells are produced. Now this is called tetrad. Tetra means four. Tetrad means four cells. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 cells are produced by meiosis. So it is meiosis 1. Here it is meiosis 2. So what happened? Megaspore mother cell divided by meiosis and produced two cells. This is called dyad condition. Di means two cells. And two cells divided and became four cells in meiosis 2. So after end of meiosis, one megaspore mother cell produces four megaspores. I repeat, one megaspore mother cell produces 1, 2, 3, 4 megaspores. So four megaspores are produced. Did you understand? So we started learning megasporogenesis. How exactly megaspores are produced? This is how it is produced. That is, first starts with single cell which is diploid, 2n number of chromosomes. It is called megaspore mother cell. Okay. Then megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis, cell division, meiosis. Chromosome number will be reduced to half. So meiosis has two stages, meiosis 1 and 2. In first meiosis 1, one cell divides into two cells. This is called dyad condition. Di means two cells. Okay, then meiosis 2 occurs. Next cell division, again prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase occurs, and four cells will be produced. Now each cell is a haploid, n number of chromosomes, half the number of chromosomes, and four megaspores are produced, which is haploid, n number of chromosomes. so that one cell, one megaspore mother cell produced 4 megaspores. So in NEET and CET they'll ask question like one megaspore mother cell produces how many megaspores? 4 megaspores. You can see because meiosis occurs, and after end of meiosis one cell produces 4 cells. But megaspore mother cell is a diploid 2n, and megaspore is n haploid. Now next we have to learn how embryo sac will be produced by megaspore, because this megaspore later produces embryo sac. Embryo sac, which is a female gametophyte. Female gametophyte means gamete containing structure. Within that it contains gametes. Okay, so now let us learn what happens. So I'll continue with that. So 4 spores are produced like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 cells are produced. These are 4 megaspores are produced. How 4 megaspores are produced? By MMC. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis and produces 4 megaspores. Okay, now what about development of these megaspores? Development of megaspores. Out of 4 megaspores, 3 will degenerate. Means out of 4 megaspores, 3 megaspores will disintegrate. I'll repeat. 4 cells are produced. This is 4 megaspores are produced. Out of this 4 megaspores, 3 will disintegrate. Means it becomes smaller and smaller, finally disappears. So 3 megaspores disintegrate. How many remains now? 1, this disintegrated, this also disintegrated, this also disintegrated. Only 1 remained. So single megaspore remains. Only 1 megaspore remained, and this single megaspore produces embryo sac. Once again I repeat, 4 megaspores are produced by single megaspore mother cell. I repeat, 1 megaspore mother cell produces 4 megaspores by meiosis. Out of 4 megaspores, only 1 megaspore produces embryo sac. What about remaining 3? Where they will go? They will get disintegrated, become smaller and smaller, it disappears. Only 1 megaspore remains. This 1 megaspore which produces embryo sac, it is called functional megaspore. Functional means working. Only 1 megaspore will produce embryo sac, so 1 megaspore is working. Remaining 3 megaspores doesn't produce embryo sac. So remaining 1 megaspore produces embryo sac. So this type of development of embryo sac, or this type of formation of embryo sac from 1 megaspore, 1 functional megaspore, is called monosporic development. Monosporic development. See, name only says mono means 1. Monospore means single spore. So 1 spore produces embryo sac. So this type of development of embryo sac from 1 megaspore is called monosporic development. Okay, so now later what happens we will see. Now out of 4 megaspores, how many remained? Only one remained, isn't it? Only one remained. What happens to that? That we will see in next class. Okay, so keep watching my classes. Thank you.